What's going on? Today is Monday. As you guys know, every single Monday, we come with you. We spit fire, we spit the truth, and nothing but the
truth.
It's my
baby.
boy Matt Shizzle Dizzle. We have a little change up in the environment, which I actually like. Let me know in the comments if you like this environment. It's actually my cribbo. And we have the nice view in the back over here. We got a whole corner view, but I just wanted to do it in my place and kind of test it out because we're always doing it in the office.
Yeah, you just came back from vacation, so
we're
extending it in the crib.
Listen, I had an amazing time. Maybe we could kind of jump into a couple of tidbits of that. But what I did want to talk about today is how to start from zero. Like the mindset of starting from scratch. Fresh, off the boat, baby, F-O-B. And I believe that a lot of you guys can gain some value from this because, you know, we're always starting new things, whether it's a new diet, whether it's, you know, a new job, new business, new relationship, right? You know, an emotional relationship. So there's a lot of cool things that have, that start with the freshness of starting from brand spanking zero, right? And a lot of people don't like the power of zero, but I love zero. Zero is a very powerful number. As a matter of fact, the most powerful number in the numerical, you know, 1 through 10 or whatever you want to call it, it's the actual zero. Because a bunch of zeros after a 1 is a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? So I love zero. But zero also has this thing where it's similar to 8, where it's infinite, right? It never ends. It never ends. It's always constantly going and going and going. So that's what, you know, I love about zero. But the thing is this, when it comes to zero, a lot of people think that zero is nothing. But zero is still a number. There's still some value in zero. There's still some value in starting from fresh, starting from zero. So I love the idea of starting from fresh. And I just came back from vacation. It was actually in my 5th or 6th vacation this year. Where did I go this time? Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan. Incredible. And those people are starting from zero every single day. So
No, I'm like, sheesh.
No, it's been an amazing trip. I mean, you get a lot of perspective. I made a video about this many times about traveling. You got to travel. Like traveling gives you a perspective like, damn, either A, you want to inspire to be like them. Like for example, if you go to a wealthy country like Singapore or, you know, Dubai, like it makes you, whoa, like you're inspired. But if you go to places like, you know, Honduras, you know, you're kind of like inspired to like, you know, push yourself better because you're going to places where people are not really so rich. So I enjoyed where I went. It was incredible views, incredible nature, incredible people, incredible food, bro. Even though I ended up in the bathroom 2 times, 2 situations, but you know, it's been amazing. But let's talk about power of zero.
No,
so,
for sure.
I
have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead. And I love you when I love when you ask me questions because it gives me some drive.
It got me thinking because I'm like, there's some people that, of course, have had to start from zero when building a business or whatever it is. Maybe they don't come from riches. But there's also people that, of course, I mean, maybe they're born in a generational family, like a wealthy family, but their father might still make them start from zero to, you know, keep them accountable, all that stuff. But if you had the choice, being that, you know, your whole background, how you grew up, everything, let's say you were somehow given a choice to come from a very wealthy family and just take over that, or would you rather just start from zero, like basically like you did?
That's a really good question. I want to give an answer for both sides, right? So if I had to start from a wealthy family, right, the good thing about it is that there's things that I would not have to go through, like the struggles, the pains, the hurts, in order to become who I needed to become. Like all that would have been given to me as I grew up, right? In terms of like, you know, you would not have to sit there and fight every day for things that you normally would not have to fight for, right? So you wouldn't have to fight for food and what are you gonna eat, where you're gonna be, where you're gonna sleep. Like you're already given that. You're kind of like starting from the shoulders up. So I do like that idea because it gives you the chance to focus on the important stuff, because there's 4 levels of creating any kind of success, in my opinion, right? The first level is survival. Like you're literally just thinking about food and, you know, the hierarchy of needs of where am I gonna sleep, where am I gonna eat, how am I gonna take care of my family. Those are survival things that no matter what background you come from, no matter what, you know, corner of the planet, you're focused on that. Like everywhere you go in the world, they're focused on taking care of their food, taking care of their shelter, for their wife, for their children and stuff like that, right? So that's the number one. The second thing after that is then you get to the level of, you know, a little bit of surplus, right? You get a little bit of like, you know, shiny objects. I forget the second stage name of it, but I read it in a book somewhere. But it basically gives you the chance to be a little bit more having sexy stuff. You have the, you know, a nicer lifestyle, kind of like, you know, nice apartment, nice car, comfort. You're having a lot of surplus in your life, okay? So when you're in surplus mode, you're not really thinking about food and shelter, so you're not wasting time on the survival shit. So time is your best valuable asset, right? So in the survival stage, you're able to you're not able to really focus on surplus. You're focused on like getting whatever you can. When you're in the surplus stage, you're literally focused on what? Surplus. Yeah. Your time is now freed up to focus on more important stuff. You don't have to worry about what you're going to eat. Your fridge is full. You don't have to worry about, what you're going to take, where you're going to live next month because your whole rent is paid for the whole year, right? Yeah. So your mind is able to focus on bigger and more valuable things and more important tasks because you have the time and resources to do so, right? So then after the second level of surplus or sexiness, I would say, the third place is, you get to a place of freedom, right? You have a lot of freedom. Yeah. You have a business that, let's say you exit out of a business, you made $100 million, right? Or you have $50 million on the bank account, or even $5 million, right? You're able to kind of do things that you probably wouldn't be able to do. You could not work, wake up in the morning, go to the gym, relax, spend time with your wife, spend time with your kids, relax, do this, do that. You have maximum freedom, right? The problem is that when you have all this time, you're missing the one last key component that every human being needs, which is purpose, which is level 4, right? Yeah. And in the freedom place, you can start to figure out what you want to do. How do I add more value to the world, right? Maybe it's through charity. Maybe it's through giving to others. Maybe it's through building a product. Maybe it's inventing something because you always wanted to invent. Maybe it's building something because you always wanted to build, right? Yeah. Or being part of a chairman of a board, or being a president of a club, or something along the lines, right? Because you're now at a place where survival is taken care of, food is taken care of, shelter is taken care of. Yeah. You have all the sexy shit. Like, I mean, I'd be honest with you, how many fucking apartments can you have? How many houses can you have? How many cars can you have until you get fed up with it? Course. You know what I mean? Like after a while, the toys are, it ends up, being pointless. Yeah. And that comes, the freedom stuff. And you're like, wow, what do I do now with my time? And you can focus on, the purpose stuff, which is the most important stuff. And a lot of people get into spirituality, giving back, charity, helping other people, because that's really what life is really about, is taking care of you and your family. And then after that, what's the next thing? Helping others around you, because that's where you feel really good about yourself. So when you start off wealthy, to answer your question, you don't have to worry about level 1. You don't really have to worry about level 2 even, right? You're kind of like ready to focus on level 3 and level 4. Yeah. So you have more time to do those things. Whereas when you start off at 0, which I think is let's put the pros of 0, you're able to build grit that you can never really build. Hey, Bubby. You're able to build grit that you would never be able to build unless you went through it. Like, it's hard to teach someone grit, in my opinion, when they've been given everything. Now, if you grow up wealthy the right way, which is the way that I want to, raise my kids, because they're going to still have to struggle for stuff and earn shit, even though they're going to have pretty much a life that most kids will probably dream of, right? And that's kind of like the mindset, because a lot of wealthy parents are like, oh, I don't want to ruin my kids and have them struggle. I want them to have the best of both worlds. Have the wealthy side taken care of, meaning the perishables, the food, this and that, the shelter, and all the extra shit, but the things that they need to learn, because I know they need it as a man or a woman to be out there in the wilderness. I'm going to give them those skill sets to teach them how to fish, so that, God forbid, if they have to be at 0 on their own, they know what to do, right? So that's kind of like my mindset. So if you would ask me which one I start, I would say the wealthy. But I love the fact that I was able to go to the 0 stage, because guess what? Why? Because I was able to learn those things. So if I would say, I wish if I can go back and I can change things, I will come from a wealthy background, but also have instilled those belief systems of being at 0. Yeah. Because without that, your children are screwed, in my opinion. They need to have both. Yeah. So if they can have both, that's amazing. But a lot of families don't have that. They either have one or the other. Yeah.
There's also a lot of people that you've even interviewed, like on the street, where they come from other countries and things like that, and they got to start from 0. And it's just crazy. People got to find new opportunities in every moment, that they have. And some people are born, everyone to not have to start at 0, and some people, sometimes they are blessed, but then they gotta just, life throws a curveball.
I mean, listen, I had to everything I have today, nothing has been given to me. Everything has been earned. Yeah. And I don't want to say I'm self-made, because I didn't make this myself. A group of people helped me accomplish my goals. You helped me, he helped me, she helped me. Everyone together collectively inspired me and helped me together to get to where I am. So I don't want to say I'm self-made. I'm team-made. I'm blessed by other people in my team and my family and whoever else. But I didn't have anyone give anything to me. I had to fucking grab it. I had to earn it. So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, in whatever scenario you're from, like whoever's watching this, it's like, you just have to do with what you got. Like, I don't think
so. Be resourceful.
No, 100%.
Be resourceful.
But I'm saying, like, some people are like, they have that mentality of, oh, he's just lucky because he started with this or this and that.
I mean, listen, you're gonna have, listen, everyone's given a different deck of cards. Yeah. I was given a 2, a 2, a 2, and a missing card. You know what I mean? That was me. Some people have an ace and a 5 and a 10 and a jack. It depends.
Yeah.
It depends on your background, right? It depends on where you come from, how you start, but it doesn't matter. The point is this: if you want to get to the ace, how do you get there? You got to understand that starting from zero is something actually a good thing. Sometimes starting a new relationship. I just got out of a relationship last year, right?
Yeah.
And at that moment, I was kind of happy. I was excited about the new world, and I was like, I can't wait to see what the dating scene is like. And the dating scene has been a little brutal, right? Mm-hmm. And I kind of got lucky recently. I'm not gonna make too many announcements yet, right? But I kind of got lucky.
Yeah.
Because I met some amazing people throughout the journey, and a lot of people be complaining about the Miami dating. I'm not complaining. I haven't had any. I've had some good luck. I mean, most of my luck has been outside of Miami.
Yeah.
As you know what I mean? Yeah. But I got lucky because I didn't look at the negatives that everyone was talking about. I was like, well, if Miami is a dirty place and a lot of bullshit here, I'm gonna start zero somewhere else. And there's millions of people in other cities, right? Yeah. So I didn't let the environment or the situation stop me. But you got to start zero. And I think starting from zero is the most relieving, freeing, rewarding feeling on the planet. Because you can start with where you want. I'll give you an example. I was telling this to one of my friends today, and he's doing solar. Okay, solar's having a little bit of a dip in the industry, right? And I was telling him how in solar, a lot of companies are going out of business right now. A lot.
Interesting.
Right? And the thing is this is the thing. When you're inside of solar as a solar sales guy, solar entrepreneur, solar installer, solar manufacturer, whatever it may be, you always find reasons why the industry will do good because you're involved in it. Just like when you're in a relationship. When you're in a relationship with a girl, even though there's 1,000 red flags, you always find that 1 or 2 green flags and say, whoa, and you start to have this cognitive bias, we call it, to start to shift towards like, well, they have these good qualities. Yeah. Because you're in the situation, because you're involved in it. You get blinded by that, right? Yeah. Once you get out of the relationship, you're like, holy shit, why didn't I leave sooner? It's not because you didn't recognize those flags. It's not because anything was new to you. It's because you have no emotional attachment to the outcome anymore. You don't care if you're with her or not with her anymore because it's already been over. Yeah. You don't care if solar goes up or down because you're out of solar, right? So a lot of times people are involved in something and they don't recognize how it's holding them back from greatness. And because it's holding them back from greatness, right, they're not able to make the right calculated decisions to help them get to point B because they're in the wrong vehicle or with the wrong person. So once you get out of that situation, you have to start from zero. Yeah. You're not like making decisions that are emotional because you don't have anything. You're at zero. Yeah. It's like, it's very hard to make decisions when you have money because you want to try to protect it as much as you can. Like the richer you get, you got to protect it a little bit. Why? For thieves, from lawsuits, from people that want your shit, right? So you get a little bit, I don't want to say scared, but you start to move different. Yeah, a little bit. You start to move a little bit differently. Whereas when you're busted broke, I remember when I was busted broke, I met one of my mentors at 19 years old. Mom was like, "Oh, be careful." I'm like, "Mom, was he gonna steal my Xbox? Like, what the fuck did I have?" Yeah. But when you have millions of dollars or assets, you're a little bit worried because you may lose something if you do the wrong move. Yeah. Right? So you get a little bit. People get less bold as they can become more successful. Yeah. They get less bold as they're involved in their business or their vehicle or their relationship. Because as time goes on, you're investing. Those roots get deeper, and you don't want to leave. Yeah. So it's hard to start from zero. Yeah. Because you have to jump off that bridge and say, "Holy shit, I'm on the wrong side of the bridge." Yeah. Right? But once you start from zero, your mind can be really clean. Yeah. And you can say, "Wow,
it only goes up from here."
It only goes up from here. There's nowhere else to go. Yeah. But you can make the best calculated decisions because you're not emotional or attached to any kind of emotional decision. Yeah. And I think that's amazing when you start from zero. Starting from zero is the best thing in the planet for any entrepreneur, for any person that's getting out of a relationship. I think it is really beneficial because I'm at a place right now where I'm starting from zero in certain areas of my life. And it's exciting because I'm able to start new things without that emotional connection. Because a lot of times you don't want to let go of certain things. Yeah. You know what I mean? Let me get some water.
Yeah, go for it.
Go ahead.
Well, I'll wait for you to get back here.
Go ahead.
Is there any place in your life where you had to start from zero and initially it was just lots of frustration? Because it's hard to maybe lose something or, just restart in whatever, whether it's business, relationship, whatever, and initially I already have that mindset of like, all right, I'm game, I'm taking the challenge, I'm still gonna come up anyway.
The last time that it was very tough for me to kind of start from zero, so to say, was 2020, after the pandemic. Because we went from having
I'm sure it was tough on a lot of people.
Yeah, I had 150 sales guys, and then, we ended up, having to make shifts and moves, and I had to make some strategic decisions, and it was a very tough time. I wasn't at zero, so to say, but mentally it felt like I was starting from zero. Yeah. Because to build momentum is a lot of effort. Going from 0 to 100 is the fucking hardest thing. Yeah. Once you're at 100, oh, it's fucking fun. It's like swimming to the tide is the hard part. Once you're on the tide, you're chilling. And a lot of people have a hard time with swimming to the tide. So understand that in the beginning stages of anything, you're gonna have to push and shove. And it may seem like there's not enough effort, or it may seem that there's too much effort, not enough result, right? But in reality, it's not that you're not putting enough effort, there's too much effort, whatever. It's just that you gotta be consistent and understand that you gotta keep swimming and pedaling until you get to the tide. Once you get to the tide, it'll get easier. Yeah. And a lot of people have a difficult time with doing that. They swim, and say, fuck it, there's no tide. When in reality, the tide is like 2 feet away, and they don't see it. Yeah. And then the wave comes crashing, like, oh shit, life sucks. Yeah. No, you just missed the fucking tide. All you need to do is swim a little bit more. That's all it is. So I think, my opinion, is that if you're starting from zero, keep making those daily habits and daily decisions to get closer to that tide. Once you get to that tide, it's gonna get easier. Build that momentum. The hardest thing to build in business, in my opinion, is not building customers. It's not building it. It's building your momentum. Yeah. And when you have momentum, you protect it, you cherish it, you value it. Yeah. And if you're in the process of building it, understand it's the most toughest thing on the planet to do. But once you get over that hump, it becomes easier and more fun.
All right. And if you had the choice, would you start from zero in a relationship, or would you start from zero in a business?
If I would, I literally had to. I had to start in business many times at zero. I had to start in a relationship, I would say a few times. But recently, if I had to start, I would say that a relationship is actually easier. I would say having to start at zero at the relationship is easy because it's fun, because they don't know all your negative sides or all your mistakes you made in your life before the learning came in. Because like, for example, let's say for example, you throw socks on the floor and that's the biggest thing that you did that's really wrong. Every girl hates that, as an example. So now you learn that every time you throw your socks, girls don't like it. So guess what? You meet a new girl, are you gonna throw socks on the floor? You learn from it. Like, okay, don't throw socks on the floor in the middle of the day. Yeah. So you don't do that anymore, but now that girl has never experienced that negative side of you because you've changed into a better human being, right? That's the beauty about starting relationships. Yeah. At 32 years old with a new relationship, they don't know half the shit that I fucked up on in my early teens and fucking 20s. Yeah. So they're just seeing a refined version of Michael Barayev. So they're able to see the beauty in Michael Barayev and who he is today. Yeah. My ex-girlfriends, they experienced the bullshit of me. They haven't experienced the beauty of me. Yeah. The new girl that I'm with today, tomorrow, next week, next month, she's able to, and she's able to, enjoy the Michael Barayev change version, or 2.0 version, right? Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing about relationships. If I was to start from scratch, I would choose relationship, because in a business, it's fucking difficult. To start from zero, it's extremely difficult, because you got to figure out what the product is, what the service is, what's the idea, how you going to communicate to the world, how you going to start working on it, how to rally other people towards that, because it's not just one relationship. In business, you need multiple relationships. Yeah. You need a fucking accountant, you need a CFO, you need a lawyer, you need this, you need people to work, employees. That's a harder zero to start than it is with one person in a relationship. I think it's much easier to to start fresh and get married and have a family than it is to start a business, which is why I think a lot of people do get married. I'm not saying they're successful a lot of times, but it's easier to get married than it is to build a business that's successful, in my opinion. Yeah. It also reminds me of the question you've been asking on the street recently. Would you rather cheat on your business partner or on your relationship partner? I mean, if you guys gotta watch that if you haven't seen it, bro. Yeah, and some reactions are interesting. It's gonna come out soon. You're gonna see some of them, or they came out already this week, depending on when this podcast is being edited. Yeah. But it's crazy, because if you were to ask me that question, and I had to choose both, I wouldn't know what to say. Because obviously it's a lose-lose. Obviously it's a lose-lose, but which one do you want to lose? You want to lose your wife and your family? Yeah. Or do you want to lose your business and your employees? Yeah. And a lot of people might choose the business. Like, they'd rather cheat on their business partner. I've had people say, fucking, they'll cheat on their wife. It's been funny, some funny shit. Or their husband. But I don't know. What would I do? I have such high integrity that I can't even do both. Obviously, I can't do both, but if I had to choose. Like gunpoint, basically. Yeah, it's like you're at gunpoint. That's the only way, yeah. What would you do? You don't know. I would obviously cheat on my business partner if I had to. If I was put a gun to my head. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'd rather lose my business, my wife, my children's future. Yeah. Business, you can always rebuild it. Yeah. You can always find a new business partner. Always. Right? But can you always find a new wife? Yeah. If you have if it's a gun to my head, I'm not saying I would do that. I would never do that, but that's the question, right? It's a lose-lose question. But yeah, I mean, I think starting from zero, in my opinion, is not easy. It's not for the regular person. Mm-hmm. But if you can learn how to start from zero, start from fresh, and keep going at it and shoving and pushing and getting things done and building that momentum, jumping on that tide. Yeah. If you learn to not be afraid of starting from zero, right? It's just like power of broke. A lot of people are afraid of utilizing. A lot of people are broke. Yeah. But why don't they use that power? I use that power all the time, even though I have money.
What do you mean by that?
So The Power of Broke is a book by Damon John. He talks about utilizing your fire of when you're broke. Like when you're busted broke, you have your back against the wall. You want to win, and nothing matters. You're willing to take risks. You don't give a fuck because you got nothing to lose. What are you gonna lose? Your 2 pennies in the bank account? You're broke. But a lot of times people get successful and they forget of using that power again. So I use that power all the time. Like I don't know if you see me working, but like today I've been pounding like crazy, and yes, I'm working as if I am gonna not eat next week. Yeah. Literally, because in my mind, and I'm honest, no disrespect, like I can let this last for a while, or I can just sit back and chill and have bills paid, but that's not what excites me, man. Yeah. Like I'm not looking for my bills to be paid. Like I said, survival is number one. Yeah. Status is number two. Yeah. Right?
Life gets bland though when you're doing nothing.
It is, but if you have a lot of there's nothing wrong with being free, but purpose is what has to drive you, and I'm driven by purpose right now. Like I figured out I figured out what I'm going to eat, when I'm going to sleep for the next fucking, however long. I already figured out my status stuff. I mean, how many fucking more watches can you buy? Yeah. Yeah, maybe a Lamborghini, this, that, a little couple of spicy shit. Okay, fine. But after a while, like what next? It's never going to end. There's always a bigger house. There's always a bigger apartment. There's always a more expensive car. There's always a faster this, faster that. But the freedom, and I've chased freedom for a long time, and I've traveled all over the world. Like I'm at 30 countries right now. Yeah. Not like Europe and all this stuff. I'm talking about like 30 exotic different places. I've been to places that most people wish they could freaking go to. Like I've been to Uzbekistan, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan. I've been to Thailand. I've been to Cambodia. I've been to Laos. I've been to Egypt. I mean, that was a beautiful freaking trip. Morocco, South Africa. I've been to almost all of Central America. I've been to parts of South America. I've been to parts of Europe. I've been almost all over the place, bro. Yeah. I've been in the Middle East. You know what I mean? I've been everywhere. The only place I haven't been really is Antarctica and Australia, which is next.
Canada? You been to Canada?
I haven't, but that's what I'm saying. It's not an exotic place. I will go there, but it's not like I've been to some crazy places. Yeah. Like Egypt is an exotic place. Who the fuck goes to Egypt? Yeah. Like who goes to Morocco usually? Not many, I'm going to Turkey in the end of October. Nice. I have a ticket. Yeah, I'm going to Turkey. So I just love seeing the world, and that's freedom, bro. You can't. How many people could do that? I did 10 countries this year.
That's sick.
That's crazy. I'm about to do 11, maybe even 12. Like who does that? Not many people, because they haven't put themselves in a position by suffering the first 10 years of my career. I was busting my ass. I didn't go nowhere, bro. Yeah. Where did I go? I didn't even take a flight to Vegas when I had a chance. Yeah. Like that was $100, $200. Yeah. So I took sacrifices in the beginning stages of my business because I knew that in my mind I was always starting at zero. The power of broke. And eventually, once you're like, okay, Mike, your mentors are gonna say, yo, dude, go travel, bro. You're like, it's enough. Is this craziness? You can go away for a week, bro. Nothing's gonna happen to you. Like your business is fine. Yeah. Right? But that took a while to get there. Yeah. But and I say that humbly because I didn't want to lose that fire inside of me, because once you have the fire of power of broke, that fire, you don't want to lose that, bro. Because a lot of people lose it when they make $100 grand a year. Yeah. Or they make $200 grand a year, they fucking lose it. Yeah. They hit a couple of success milestones and that's it, they're chilling. Yeah. And I don't want to do that. I don't want that to be my life. So my recommendation, if you're starting from zero, be excited. It's the most powerful place on the planet. Yeah. It's exciting to be there. You're never going to forget how you start. You're never going to forget how you end. You may forget the middle stuff, but the beginning is the most important. How you start will determine how you finish. Yeah. And if you can start the right way right now, if you're starting at zero, you can finish a very successful way if you really want to, because everything has an ending.
And how much better will it be when you do overcome that restart?
100%. And by the way, if you need permission to restart, I give you permission to restart. I give you permission to start at zero today if you need to. You can do it. Go out there and win. So we appreciate you. We love you. Listen, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, do me a favor. Subscribe to the channel. We had a new vibe, new view just for you, baby. So I appreciate you.
Couch sessions at Barive.
Couch sessions at Barive, yeah, spitting fire. But we appreciate you. We love you. Throw us some comments. If you want us to talk about certain topics, let us know. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share it with someone, and we'll see you guys in the next video.